All right, everyone, so we are back here because we just received the first set of prints from the re-release we are doing this upcoming Friday. And again, that's 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Friday the 13th, August 13th. But anyways, we just wanted to kind of unbox these or unroll them and show you guys how they came out and kind of show you guys RL's reaction to seeing them for the first time. Okay, so first off, this is obviously, all three of these photos are by Windy Osborn, and that's Aunt Wendy for myself. And of course, RL is the subject in all three of these. These are kind of like, these aren't gonna be part of the hand numbered series. These are kind of like the unofficial first prints that we got for showing you guys what you're gonna be receiving. But RL is still gonna sign these, and we're gonna be getting them framed later today, so you guys can see what they look like framed.
At some point I should lift it up, but
yeah, let's
go ahead. Were you done?
Well, like I was saying to you, I mean, the detail first of all came out really well. I'm stoked on that, but some of the stuff on here almost looks like it's popping out, like these little pads on the Haro logo.
Look, you can see the hole, the air vents in my jersey.
You can see the fabric.
I think this picture was taken, what, 35 years ago, 40 years ago?
That I do not know.
Yes, well, yes, it was sometime, something like that. That just, and blown up this big shows you the talent that Windy has. I mean, I've seen this picture off and on for 35, 40 years, but when Dylan opened this, I was blown away.
Really?
Yeah, because the detail, I mean, my brake pads, the fork pegs, white red line flights, you can see the bolts. You can almost read the pedals.
Your eyes and that
My
mask.
eyes. It's just, man, it just, I thought Dylan was nuts. He's going, it's going to be this big. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Well, can you hold it up? Let's see what it looks like. Be gentle, please. Careful, yo. It folded up.
That's all right. You'll get the impression.
Okay, just keep it there for a second. Yeah, wow. Ooh, that's cool. It's like your face is right by your face in the picture. So you can see the difference, what 35 years will do to you.
I think I look the same.
You might have gotten younger, like Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Oh shit, hold on. Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Very cool. Way to go on the size.
Thank you.
And Windy, man.
Yep.
I knew you were good. I didn't know you were that good.
All right, you ready to do the next one?
Yeah, are we going to roll this up first? We
I
don't
think
want
we
to compete. You don't want to compete.
We'll put it in the background over here because they need to start lying flat for when we frame them, I think.
Well, this is going to dominate, so I would really get that out of the way. I think it's just too amazing.
It's fade resistant as well. Oh, wow.
Holy shit, man. I got to see that.
That's obviously the cyborg. Jesus. Let me come over there and I'll pull down the corners. Or I'll get one side.
Okay.
Look at that. Ooh, that's so sick.
Unbelievable. Oh, it's got the two cables that Steve Blackie did.
Yes.
So was there two cables going into my rotor? Oh, I guess I did have a bearing rotor. Look at that. Both fingers are open on the levers.
You can just see the color quality.
Oh my God! Look at the panning right here. The consistency, the panning colors that she got in that.
Yep.
Man, that is freaking nuts. Got my Oakleys on.
Can you center that more for me, please? Like to the left, though.
That way?
Just keep going that way. I was like, yeah, there you go.
We didn't say what you wanted me to center it on. Foot pegs, rear pegs, those little small ones.
Where's that?
990s, white pads. Homeboy on there, ACS. those dino bars or whatever those bars were. I think they were dinos. The drop stem. My God, that is insane. Look at the colors.
Could we hold it up a little bit for a sec? Just like that. Yeah.
The green, those shin guards, the shin guards I'm wearing, right here, the sewing things, I had mesh metal in there to protect me.
Oh,
That's why
really?
it's individually sewn.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and those were made by Body Glove.
Very cool.
They were good, very good. And this looks like a rotor without bearings. Look at the stem, just straight out. It's just like a piece of aluminum.
That's the 22, right? RL 22.
It's an RL 22, yeah, 20 inch, but it's a 22nd RL Redline bike.
Wow.
Look at that huge sprocket. Are these Vans or Cons?
Those are Vans.
So that was before Converse. Panaracer, Diacomp.
Oakley again.
Redline.
Where was this?
This, I believe, is
Competition.
at the Velodrome in Dominguez Hills, California.
Keep it right here. We're zoomed in on it.
Good job.
Thank you.
You and Windy.
All right, guys, so we are back here a few days later. Just got all 3 of these prints framed, as you can see. And we just wanted to show you guys how they look so you can see what the full potential of these art prints is. Now, they do not come framed when you order them on the website, so just a heads up. Again, we just wanted to show you how they look. What is your initial thoughts when you see them framed?
I think they look really good.
Yeah.
I mean, the print. Would you say you use a special ink?
Yeah, so they're called archival inks, which is, I guess, just super high quality. So it's a really vibrant, or all the colors are really vibrant, really detailed. And then they also don't bleed, or they're fade resistant over time. So they last a really long time.
Well, blowing up a picture this big,
Yeah.
those inks and Windy's talent. Windy's talent is paying dividends right now. I mean, it's just incredible the detail you can see in this stuff. I've noticed pictures, I've noticed things in here like this cable. I don't know where that thing is going.
Oh, you know what? It's going to your handlebars.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Because we're looking at the bottom of the frame.
Right.
That is weird looking.
I mean,
looks
look,
like
no
it's going
valve.
to your foot.
Yeah. No valve cap on the stem. I'm just so amazed that this picture was taken so long ago and it blew up this clear.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually looks clearer than when it's smaller, and that's amazing. It's just an amazing picture.
Yeah. And we're going to show you guys coming up here some footage of them out of the frames because there's a lot of reflection on the glass right now. And when you take them out, you can really see them clearly.
Yeah. I was just talking to Flip from Albie's.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. And we were talking about the pictures, and I think he said it's this one.
The Cyborg.
Yeah, the Cyborg was a big picture when he was growing up. He said that was the picture.
Yeah. A lot of people have been messaging you online on Facebook and Instagram saying, a lot of them say that about the Cyborg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. This one has a lot of meaning to it too, being at the velodrome.
Yeah.
I always did good at that contest. That was a trick that I came up with.
Mr.
And
Handsome.
got my red line in there. So they all have something special about them.
Yep, the General is in that one.
Yep, the General Osborne Pro.
And is this an RL22 in the black and white photo, the look back?
Yeah. That looks like my red one.
I don't know why, but in this black and white one, on those Haro pants or whatever, those chevrons they have embossed on the pant leg, it just looks like they're almost popping out of the photo.
Yeah, that was something Bob came up with for his, Bob Haro came up with for his graphics. And he owned the company when I was wearing his pants, wearing these pants. And they were good, comfortable pants, fit well.
Yeah, you can see like the detail, the materials, the fabrics, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
RL, I interviewed RL the other day, just kind of asking him about what it was like working with Aunt Windy over the years and doing that whole thing together. So at the end of this video, we're going to add that in so you guys can watch that.
Cool.
Yes. We wanted to have her involved in the interviews as well, but she's so busy right now with planning her wedding and everything, she couldn't make it. But we're thinking, you know, once we get these all printed for you guys, we're thinking of maybe doing a trip down south to see her and to get them autographs so that we can make a trip out of getting her to sign them.
Handsome, come here. Come on. There he looks. There he is. Good boy.
I really do like, I think the Cyborg is my favorite too.
Get over here.
Which is your favorite? It's something about, for me,
The one you're holding up.
Yeah.
It just, man, it's just got so much power, you know. I mean, every picture has something special about it.
Well, okay, so I'm going to get started with the ordering information. But before I do that, I wanted to give a big thank you to everyone who helped us with promoting this whole project over the last few days, last Friday and stuff.
Yes.
I had to write down the names because I went to a handful of people asking for help, and then once they posted it, there was a ton of people who just picked it up and posted it on their own without us even asking, which was really cool. So
yeah, everybody, thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah. So I'm going to read the list really quick of everyone. So big thank you to Isaac Irving from Big Bike BMX, as well as 80s BMX Craig. They both helped out a lot.
Good guys.
Obviously, Aunt Windy was helping too, promoting on her pages. We had Mike Buff, BMX Lifer, Prospect BMX, which I'm wearing their shirt right now. Cool Boy Steve, John Pova, which was really cool. You're a dick. We had the BMX Freestyle page, as well as Old School BMX World. Old Bones Therapy helped out. Albie's, which was Flip. We were just talking to him, or my dad was. We had George from Night Bike Co. John Bielchins and Ride Out Supply just hopped on board, so they're going to be helping out as well. So.
Did you say Rick Allison?
Ride Out Supply? Oh, John Bielchins.
No, Rick Allison also
Rick
promoted
Allison,
it.
yeah, on our page he was promoting it, and he put it on his page as well.
Yeah,
so
thank you, Rick. John, everybody, thank you.
This is going to be a limited run, and the way we're doing that is we're going to have these prints available for only 24 hours. So once that 24 hours is up, you won't be able to get these again. The way that's going to work is this Friday, which is going to be August the 13th at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 9 a.m. Eastern. On our website, rlosborne.com, if you visit the shop tab, you're going to see these 3 prints are going to be available. And again, that's starting 6 a.m. on Friday. All 3 of these photos are going to be super high quality prints, meaning they are going to be printed on luster satin photo paper with archival inks. So that is going to make it so the colors really pop. They're very vibrant, and then it's also going to be fade resistant, so they last a very long time. We're also going to be shipping and packaging these in archival print materials, protective materials, so that there is no damage during the shipping process. Like I was saying, it's a limited run, so they're going to be hand numbered as well as autographed by both RL and Windy Osborn. So I'm thinking we're going to do the numbering by hand. I think we're going to have Aunt Wendy do it too, since it's usually done by the artists themselves. And so it'll say number of however many, that are sold, which again is going to depend because it's going to be available for 24 hours. And the number you get is going to be based on when you order it. So the very first person to order is going to get print number 1. Second person that orders print number 2, and so on. And that again is going to be hand marked on the print itself, as well as autographed by both RL and Windy. Okay, so for sizing, the look back, the black and white photo, is 40 inches by 24. The cyborg is 30 inches by 20. And then the backwards infinity roll is 30 inches by 21.5. Now each one of these also has a 1-inch border all the way around, so that adds 2 inches to the width and 2 inches to the length. But the actual photo, the dimensions I gave you is the actual photo size without the border. For pricing, the cyborg as well as the backwards infinity roll will be $250. And again, those come hand numbered as well as autographed by RL and Windy. And the black and white look back is going to be $350. And again, this will be hand numbered and autographed by both of them as well. One thing I forgot to mention, someone online was talking about don't sign it with Sharpies because those will fade. So did a lot of research and I got these Sakura Pigma. The brand is called Sakura, and they're the Pigma Micron set of pens. So these are not oil-based, because what I read online was that the oil-based stuff takes forever to dry and will smear. Yes. But everyone likes oil-based because I guess they last a long time or something like that. So these last just as long, if not longer, than oil-based, but they dry instantly, so there is no smearing or issues with that. So from all the research I did, these are the absolute best pens to use for autographing memorabilia. So again, thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you to all the promoters who helped out. We really appreciate that. And again, don't forget to visit rlosborne.com. Our shop tab is where you can see all the art prints that are available, these 3 photos. And they're up there right now, so you can check them out. I'll have the link on the screen as well as in the description. You don't have to wait till 6 a.m. to see the page and all the details, but right now it will say that they're sold out, and that's just because I haven't put the inventory up. So once it hits 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Friday, August the 13th, it will no longer say sold out, and they'll be available for purchase. And like I said, hopefully we're going to do a little trip down south to see Windy and get these signed, so we'll have videos of that, which should be cool. All right, anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, I'm going to cut it to the interview then with my dad, talking about working with his sister throughout the years.
First question I have about this one is, how did Windy get so close? I mean, I know that was in the middle of one of my runs, but she would always get really close. Whatever it took to get the shot, she would do. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if this is the velodrome contest where Dennis McCoy and I tied, and then we had a runoff, and Dennis won the runoff. But anyways, this was a hard trick to do on that surface because the velodrome has a little slant to it in the big straightaways. And so I remember like when I was doing a backwards rubber ride and I turned, started going downhill. So I gained speed fast. But that's a backwards infinity roll. And that's Dominguez Hills.
And that looks like it's on an RL22.
Yeah. Red RL22. And should I just keep rolling on?
Yeah.
This one, this is a Cyborg. Another one of my tricks. And the interesting thing on this was, you know, when that trick just came out, it wasn't like you could just get up there and go 100 miles an hour, but Windy wanted a panning shot where everything in the back is blurry. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing it down a hill. I'm going faster than I ever have, and she's going, you got to go faster. You know, like, man, you don't understand. I'm right up on the front. And so I kept going faster and faster. Got as fast as I could possibly go. And she was happy.
Good.
And it worked out, you know.
Yeah.
So that was that. And this one was the Tower of Love, which was the half pipe at Wizard Publications.
People have been talking about that online lately, the Tower of Love.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we were like, hey, we went to my dad. We want to put a half pipe in the parking lot. Oh, I don't know. What? We're like, me and Winkle are like, yeah, let's do it. And then me, Winkle, and Andy, I think, were the main people that worked on it all the time.
Andy?
Andy Brusick was a good friend of mine. Uh-huh. It was me, Andy, and Winkle were hanging out all the time.
Oh, cool.
And building the ramp. We built that ramp. And so that's where that one was taken. That was with Skyways on there. White, tough wheels. That had to be.
So that was, what was she like, standing on the top of the half pipe and you just aired up?
Probably. I mean, she would get down on certain shots. I would fly out and she'd run the camera, you know, motor drive, you hear you know, buzzing sound. And she'd stick the camera right next to me, you know. And I mean, she was always right in there, right in the middle of it. I mean, and you understand, why do you have to get so close? But then when the picture would come out, you're like, oh, no, I get it. But,
would that like mess you up or break your concentration when having that there?
Well, you had to get used to it. I think a lot of riders will admit this, that the demand that her and my dad had on when we're in photo shoots, you know, was so high that it made you a better rider.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because, you know, they want you to do that trick and they want it over and over and over and over. And that means successful. When the trick is successful, they want to reproduce it, shoot it a million different ways. And if you happen to be like jumping your truck, which I did when I was jumping my Toyota truck, I did that a number of times. And that was painful.
Yeah.
But, you know, the picture came out and it was great. But it puts pressure on you because you don't want to hit them because they're so close. But they really know their shit, man. I mean, getting down low and all the different things they did. I mean, some of those pictures shot by my dad and my sister were, you know, when they came out in the magazine, it's stuff I still remember.
Yeah.
Like David Clinton's tabletop at Soledad Sands. I mean, I can still remember that day he did it. I was right there, you know. So the still pictures really have an impact, and my dad and my sister's pictures were the best, and they ached over the quality. So my hat's off to them.
That brings up my next question. Did you ever hit one of the photographers while doing a trick? Or do you know of a story of another rider doing that?
Oh, I'm sure they got hit. I don't remember them getting hit bad. I remember I was doing airs on a ramp, and I think we were shooting, might have been shooting part of some stuff for Rad, the movie Rad, I don't remember, but we had a cameraman, I can't remember his name, but he shot movies and stuff, and he was on top of our ramp, and he forgot, was in the shot watching me and walked off the back of the ramp, broke both of his arms, and he had casts out like this, you know, with big braces here.
That's horrible.
We're good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as I saw him, he came to the office and he looked like he was ready to hug you, right? His big cast. I'm like, hey man, how does that work at the bathroom? And he goes, I'll just tell you that my girlfriend and I have gotten really close.
Yeah. That
So,
sucks.
anyways, Windy, I don't remember Windy getting hit, but I'm sure they did,
Yeah.
from time to time.
It's gotta be risky out there.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I'll go into some of my questions then about it. The first one is, what was it like working with your sister, and not just working with your sister, but working, like at such a high level on something? Were you just used to it by that point because you guys had grown up together, or how was that?
Well, it wasn't like, hey, let's go take some pictures. Oh, that'd be a good way to spend our day. No, it was like, I mean, she was all business. She knew exactly what she wanted. And she'd take a few, and you'd see her, my dad would do this too. They'd look at their camera, and you could see whether or not if they were pleased
My God.
or not. And you could tell by the look on their face how many more times you were going to do it. But sometimes they would just do anything, just take your hand off her, move this or move something just to get, and sometimes that would be the photo. So it was, you did it over and over and over again. And and you had to do it with them right there. And it was good preparation for a contest because it's not how you're used to riding,
Yeah. So, like, how did that come to be where, like, was she doing photography on her own, like, growing up, and then you were riding on your own, and then once the magazine started, it's like it all came together, or how did that come to fruition?
Well, my dad was into photography. I don't know how correct this is going to be, and she was in photography for as long as I could remember, She even had pictures that were published in Life magazine, I believe.
Wow.
And a lot of big magazines. So she had been shooting forever, and her and my dad would always talk about it. And I could care less about photography, to be honest with you. I don't even want to know how that camera works, or what speed you're shooting it at, or how many motor drive pictures you can take in a second. I don't care. Plus, they cared so much, it didn't matter. So my thing was on the bikes, But she was always taking pictures from way back when we were riding at Silmar. It was just like way back in the day.
And so was she just like from day one in terms of photography for the magazine, or did it start and then she got involved?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think she's been around BMX for a long time. Yeah. So I don't know when she started, but I'm sure she was way in her early teens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, like this one, the backwards infinity roll. This is way in the early days, right? So I didn't even think it was possible, but I just started trying it, sitting on my seat and making it go backwards, and made the steering go backwards because you're turned backwards, so you're steering opposite way. But so I remember thinking about doing that trick and wondering if it could really be done, and it just kind of started working. This one, the Cyborg, that I came up with. Hopefully I'm matching my stories, but Rodney Mullen was living with me, Steve Rocco and Rodney Mullen, and Rodney would practice at midnight to 2 a.m, rain, hot, it doesn't matter, he practiced all the time, tape his fingers up, and I'd watch him from my window in my house. I could see the parking lot, so I could just sit there and watch him ride. It was amazing to watch him skate. It was as close to perfection as you can get. But I watched him do front wheel 360s just as long as he wanted to go, And I thought, man, if that's possible, maybe. I think the Hang 5 was coming out, and I didn't feel comfortable to me either, but I wanted to learn a nose wheel of some sort. And hanging off the side of the frame brought the bike up steeper. And, by seeing what Rodney could do, I thought, man, it's got to be possible,
Yeah.
And it actually came true. So, yeah, I remember that. And the look back, I can't remember. I remember wearing the scarf over my face, and
Yeah, why'd you do that?
Huh?
Why did you do that?
Just
For a
change
look?
something in the photograph to make it different, you know, add something to it. You know, style was a big, you know, it does, no style today is style, but, yeah. But I don't remember too much about that. I just know it was Tower of Love.
So to circle back then to talking about Aunt Wendy, do you think she got the credit she deserved for what she did back in the day? Because when you think about it, back then there wasn't like camera phones or smartphones or whatever, and really not a lot of video. So the only way for people to see what other writers were doing across the country or whatever was what photographers were taking
Right.
pictures of and presenting.
Right.
Do you feel like she got like the kind of recognition she deserved for doing that, or being that person who kind of communicated what was going on to the world? What was going on in the world of BMX to the rest of the world is kind of what she was communicating, you know?
Right. I don't know, because I know that she was a perfectionist about her pictures, you know. She wanted them right. And I don't know what, because it was all new. This has never happened before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but I know now she is, because I hear it, because now that we're older, you know, it's like when you're younger, you're like, what's art? I don't even want to look at art, you know?
Yeah.
And when you're older, you're like, man, I don't know, that abstract looks kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So you kind of know more and you appreciate it more. I definitely appreciate it more.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I'm sure she did. I mean, I'm sure she did, because, you know, you just look at her pictures and it's hard to find a picture like that. It's hard to find this kind of quality.
Yeah.
You know, and what my dad and her would go through to get that, you know.
It sounds like she definitely has a lot of notoriety amongst the writers.
Yeah, I think we
always
all
talk about
appreciate it more now than we did in the past. I mean, we knew, you know, you're young and so you're like, God damn, how many times do I have to do this trick, you know? And then when the picture would come out, you'd be like, oh, okay, I get it, you know. But we were learning, you know. And now, though, you know, now you can really see the impact of their photos and how the photographs, the still shots, how it, you know, that picture hanging up on your wall in your bedroom or whatever, you know, you stare at it, you soak that thing up, and it's just what an impact it has on you.
Yep.
So yeah, it was major, and I'm sure she did get the credit. I just think it's a lot more stronger now because we understand it more.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I talk to any riders, that's one of the first names that comes up is your Aunt Wendy. And even like when we're at these BMX shows, a lot of people that come up and talk to me, they always say your dad and your aunt was a huge influence on my life. So that's always really cool.
I get that too. It's like all three names come up. Or I'll be talking to somebody and I'll say, well, I don't know, it'll come up. I'll say, yeah, well, she's my sister. And they're like, what? They didn't know she was my sister or something. You know Windy Osborn? So I'm actually related to her, you know. So it's good for my image.
Kind of a new topic here, but what's it like? You know, you're coming from the 80s, where the main media was photos for BMX. I mean, there wasn't too much video. That was kind of starting at the end.
Right.
Now it's all video, not really any photos. I mean, obviously people still do photos, but it's all, you know, a lot of it is video. And not just that, it's like back in the day, if you wanted to create this content, you needed a professional photographer with all this equipment.
Right.
And now we're doing everything on a phone if we wanted to. So like, what is that transition like for you, or what's it like, I guess, being in this new world of content?
Well, I think for one, you and I are always talking about it. Dylan and I have been talking about doing more stills, because a still shot is an image that you can study. You can look at everything. In a video, you miss all that detail. Yeah. You're just kind of as a group. And so, but when we did that, we were like, we're looking on the wall and we're pointing to Wendy's pictures and my dad's pictures. And then we started going, how did they do that? And we're still trying to figure it out with all the technology we have, and we can't quite get it. So even with all the technology, there's still a talent. Yeah. Now I think there needs to be more stills.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's cool now because like we don't need a professional to make it happen. You can share a quick video with the world just by pulling out your phone and filming really quickly. But kind of like you said, it's a lot of the details are lost, and it's not so much like a piece of art as now it's just a quick video of communication to share with somebody. Where this stuff, it's more like art. It's more like, you know, a moment frozen in time, like they say.
Yeah.
So it's a lot different.
I'll give you a perfect example. So when Matt Hoffman built that big ramp, and he's doing like 25 feet or something like that, being towed by a motorcycle. You know, when you see the video, they go up and they go, you know, he comes back down. It's like, it's really impressive. But when you still that, and he's 20, 25 feet, whatever, he was out, and you can sit there and look, and I always count, okay, if there was a person on there, that's one person, two people, you know, and you look at the height between the top of the ramp and how big the ramp is, and you start to look at you just put the whole thing together.
Yeah, it lets you really like process everything and really think about it.
Yeah. And then there's that peak, you know, where, you know, a ground rider would be really twisted in the trick, which on a video you might not see, or Matt's inverted when he's 20, 25 feet out. You know, there's all these little details that really, you just keep looking at it and you find more and more. And so I think still shooting, quality still shots needs to enter our sport again. Yeah, and get some more of that feeling back that they brought to it.
Definitely.
I think her impact on the sport of BMX street, ramps, everything, her impact of it is just massive. Yeah. Same thing with my father. Same thing with John Carr and BMX Plus. Same thing with all these people that traveled around to all these shows and contests. I mean, they were on planes sitting, I remember my dad sitting in a race for, you know, 15 hours a day. He's out in the middle just taking pictures. It's dusty and hot for 3 days. Windy would do the same thing. Steve Giberson did the same thing. So all these photographers and magazines that were backed in the sport, a lot of work went into that. I mean, a lot of work. And I don't know, maybe they deserve an applause for.
I'd say it made a lasting impression.
Lasting impression.
People are still, you know, going crazy about this.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's being passed on to new generations too, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe we're so into videos now that we're not getting the stills that we used to have back in there.
Yeah.
And I think we need that back.
They just have like a different impact from what I've seen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that pretty much then wraps up the interview portion. And this is kind of our first time, my first time working with Aunt Windy on something like this, and your first time working with her again since back in the day. So we're kind of hoping to bring her more back in the mix and hopefully maybe get a video with her or something like that, be working with her more in the future.
You know what's really funny is that when you and I do photo shoots or videos, I'll just tell you guys this, but Dylan is super detailed. He's got to get it from a super angle. He's got lights, equipment out just like they did. And no, it's got to be, I want it right here. I want this. Okay, you're going to stand here. Whenever I shoot something, he sets it up and I just get behind the camera. And I said, yeah, the red light's blinking, but you have a lot of the same traits that my sister does.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Which is good and bad because I still have to suffer through it.